Was good, family? Listen, excited to be back with y'all for another week. And you definitely want to stay tuned because today we're talking about creative financing with mobile homes, y'all. So I'm going to go over some strategy. I'm going to give y'all some how to. You definitely want to tap in. If you're watching this replay, trust me, this ain't one you want to miss, man. So, like previous weeks, man, I'm going to start off, man. I'm going to start off something different, man. Y'all know what, man? It ain't been a while. Let me hit my theme music. Let's get it. Was good, was good, y'all. Man, I'm excited to be back with another week with y'all, man. And we talking about creative financing. Man, listen, man. If y'all don't know, man, my name is Byron Sellers. I'm one half of the Mobile Home Elite Investors. My queen Sharnice is the other half, and we specialize in all things mobile homes, manufactured homes, modular homes, anything that can move or can be moved. We specialize in it. And man, excited about this one, y'all. Excited to talk about creative finance. And listen, this is for you if you kind of been struggling and kind of either, get financing. If you want to get started, but you want to take less of a risk, or you just want to know some alternative ways on how to finance a mobile home, this episode is for you, y'all. So I'm excited again to talk with you all. So, like always, man, do me a favor. Let me see where y'all checking in from in the comments before we get started. All right, I'm checking in from Tampa. Move here from Chicago. Enjoying it is hot right now, but I'm enjoying it. But man, listen, like I said, I got a great one for y'all. Do me a favor too while y'all about to drop where you're checking in. Make sure you subscribe and like the channel. Listen, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. I think I forgot Twitter, but it's all good because I don't even think they be looking at it. So it's all good. But again, let me know where y'all checking in from. And if you came from Instagram, man, make sure if you haven't, make sure you following us on Instagram. But man, like I said, I got a good one for you all. We talking about creative financing strategies for mobile homes. And man, I'm excited. Hey, what's going on? How you feeling? How you feeling? Checking in from DC. Okay. And yeah, like I said, man, this is one of the ones you definitely want to take heed to because I think some people get stuck, right, when it comes to mobile home investing. Like, hey, I don't have the capital. I want to do wholesaling, but I'm not sure how to do wholesaling. How do I, keep the sellers and the buyers, all that kind of stuff like that. And like I said, I got y'all. But today's episode, man, listen, is brought to y'all by the Elite Fast Track program. And so I will definitely be talking about that a little bit later within the stream. But again, man, just wanted to come on here and talk about, to help you all out, right? Whether you're a seasoned investor, you starting out, it's a lot of opportunities in manufactured homes. And I think that, again, this one today is going to help you out with a lot of things. So we're going to jump right into it. Right? We said we talking about creative financing. All right, creative financing strategies. And man, like I said, this is a good one. So I hope you got your notes ready. And we're going to jump right into it, right? So when we talk about creative financing, tonight we're going to focus on three strategies. Okay, we're going to focus on three strategies tonight. And we're going to focus on seller financing. All right, we're going to talk more about seller financing. Right, it's a way for you to acquire a property and get the seller to finance you. We're going to talk about seller carryback. This is a good strategy especially if you're talking about trying to get mobile homes with the land. And then we're also going to touch on subject to. So we're going to talk about subject to. So those are three we're going to talk about. And then we're going to talk a little bit about hard money, how to go after some hard money to be able to get some, potentially get some deals. But those three we're going to really focus on today. Like I said, and so I'm going to have some visuals for y'all. I think that is definitely key for you all to take notes and be able to watch this as we do the replay. All right. So let's get right into it. The first one I really want to dive into with seller financing. All right. Seller financing is a method where the seller of the mobile home provides a loan to the buyer instead of them having to go to the bank, right? Or traditional loan route for a loan. Seller financing. Now, I like this strategy because to me, seller financing, if I own the property, this is a great strategy. But if you are trying to get a rental, right? And we're gonna go over a few things. You're trying to get a rental. I think this is a great strategy to acquire, to not only get the property, but then to have someone paying off the monthly payments that you agree on, right? So this is a great way for you to come into, investing in mobile homes. And so let's talk about a few things, right? Let's talk about the key points, right? This is kind of the breakdown of what a seller finance deal will look like if you, right, are coming in as the buyer, right? So I was to go over seller financing if we own the property, but this is if you're the buyer, okay? So for one, promissory note, right? This is basically an agreement that, hey, I'm gonna repay the loan, and this is the interest rate, and this is what we agree upon, right? The terms. A security agreement. This is pretty much like collateral. All right. This is sometimes the mobile home itself, but like, again, if you don't make your payments, the owner like, yo, I'm getting my home back. Okay. Same thing how I teach you all when it comes to strategies on seller finance. A down payment, right? Normally you're always making a down payment because again, you got to have some stake in it, right? And it's just like if I go get a mortgage or if I go get a loan, I'm gonna have to put a down payment down. And then the terms, right? That include the interest rate, how long it is, what our repayment schedule, what we negotiate, things like that. And then the title transfer. Okay. Like, so now this is the ownership, right? Who's going to be on title. And again, normally the seller is going to be a lien holder, right? Just like if you go get a car from GM, right? You'll get let's say you'll get a Cadillac Escalade finance, you get it financed through GM. Well, GM is going to be the lien holder until you make those payments to pay off the truck. Okay. So hope y'all follow me. Let me know if that makes sense in the comments, right? I'm going to give y'all some examples, but let me know if that makes sense when it comes to seller finance. Okay. So let's go ahead and break down. Let me make sure that, let's say if y'all are in my Facebook group. Let's see if are y'all getting that? Sometimes, if not, you're gonna have to catch the replay. But it's all love. Let's see. All right. Nope, it did not work. They played me this time. It's all good. All right. So cool. So let's talk about an example, right? So let's give an example, right? So let's say Shar is selling her mobile home for $50,000, and Scott is a potential buyer, and he's interested but could not get a loan from the bank. So let's go over the step-by-step process. All right. So for one, right, we start the negotiation. Shar and Scott, they agree on the purchase price of $50,000 for the home. Then they also negotiate the terms of seller financing. So Scott comes like, hey, listen, I can't get a loan. What if I know you want 50,000, but look at the down payment. What if I can give you 10,000 down and then you finance me for the rest, right? 40,000. So now, right, they get a promissory note, right? So agreeing. So Scott signs a promissory note agreeing to repay Shar $40,000 over 10 years at an interest rate at 5%. Now, next is our collateral agreement, right? So the mobile home is used as collateral. Basically, Shargo gets a lien on the home, so she becomes a lien holder on the title. Now, we're able to transfer the title. Since Shar is a lien holder on the title, she transfers the title over to Scott. Transfer it over to Scott, and now Shar is a lien holder. So remember I gave you the example of GM, right? GM, if you go get a Cadillac Escalade, you're going to be on the title, but GM is the lien holder, meaning they hold a lien on this truck until you pay. Same thing with the property. So now the monthly payments, Scott makes monthly payments to Shar which include both principal and interest. Principal, the base price, right? That was the 40K, interest to 5%. So now let's say we're gonna estimate the homes the cost, the monthly cost, $424.26. So now at the end, full ownership, Scott makes all the payments over the next 10 years. The owners are fully repaid, and Shaw releases the lien, making Scott the outright owner of the mobile home. Now, again, this strategy, I always teach you all how to do this as the seller. But this is how you can acquire a property as the buyer, right? You can acquire a property because here's scenarios where sometimes people may be open for this, right? They may have a situation where you always want to learn, okay, what's your reason of moving? But they may not necessarily be in a rush and need all the upfront capital. Or somebody's not necessarily giving them what they need for it. Somebody can't get finance and they're willing to take payments. Now, why is this helpful? Right? You're like, okay, cool, right? I'm able to acquire a mobile home. Okay, cool, Byron. Like, make this make sense to me. All right, cool. I got you. All right. So let's talk about it. So, Scott, let's look over the numbers, right? Scott finances the mobile home. Okay. 40,000 at 5% interest over 10 years. Loan amount 40K, interest rate 5, loan term 10 years, they agree on 10 years, 424. So the total repayment 424 for 120 months, $50,911.20. They're like, man, okay, look at that interest over $10,000, $10,000 for interest. Well, let's talk. Why is this pretty good, right? We're going to do a rental scenario. We're going to talk a rental scenario. Okay. We're going to say that Scott is going to find somebody to occupy this mobile home for $1,800 per month, right? Now, some of y'all markets may command this. Let's see, 3-bedroom, 2-bath can command this. And we're going to do this inside of a park because I want to give y'all, again, a realistic scenario. Inside of a park with a mobile home lot rent is $750 per month. Okay? $750 per month. Let's break this down. So if he gets a renter, he got to pay Shard at $424.26. Also, the lot rent got to be paid $750. So total costs $1,174.26. But Scott went and found a renter at $1,800. The $1,800 monthly income minus now our cost $1,174.26. Scott now can cash flow $625.74 a month. Now, y'all follow me on this. All Scott did, let's go back to this. Remember, he paid $10,000. Let's go back to it. Scott paid $10,000 down, $10K to assume control. Got a loan, he's going to be paying over time. But now what he did was he was able to now find someone who's going to pay $1,800 a month. And now he's cash flowing $625. Look at the breakdown. In 10 years, Scott is going to collect in 10 years over $216,000 gross. But he's gonna have to pay lot rent, right? So let's say that lot rent stays the same, hypothetically stays at $750. It's gonna be $90,000 out, right? Total payments to pay back, $424 times 120 months, $50,911. But look at his net, what he created from this seller finance deal. Scott was able to, again, gross look good, right? $216,000, paying a lot of money in lot rent, but that's just in the park. But we're going to go over some more examples. And he had to pay his loan back, but he was able to net $75,000 from, if you look at it, originally a $10,000 investment, because that's what he put down just to secure control over that deal. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense to you. All right. And the reason why, to me, this is key. Now, can you do this in parks? Yes, you can do it in parks. You could do it in parks. Would I suggest you do it in a park? Not really. Not that long. Not for no 10 years. If you, I mean, it depends on what, how long the loan, how much they owe, and depends on the location. But it's a scenario. And the reason I want to give you all that lot rent scenarios because we're gonna go over the next thing, and I think you're gonna really see what the numbers really make sense. But still, my man turned 10K to 75,000 because remember, 10K was what he had to invest, and then after that, everything else after until that 10K was paid was profit because he had a tenant that was paying the rent. Now, here's real life: 10 years to have a 10-year tenant is amazing. So we're gonna have to count for some vacancies, right? It could possibly have over that time, could possibly have some vacancy within there, right? So let's say when I say vacancy, if tenant moves out, it may take a month, 2 months to fill in, or he may have back to back, may have a long-term tenant that stays 5 years, may get another long-term tenant that stays another 5 years. We have different scenarios. But again, I wanted to show you all just the numbers on how to do seller finance. All right. Let me know if that makes sense in the comments. Again, definitely want to continue just to show you all the different ways on how to invest. So that way you can be like, you never can say, well, I don't have any money. I don't have credit to get in this. Like, I don't know how to get in this. Like you ain't got no excuses. All right. So I'm going to show you. So let me show you another strategy that you can use, especially when it comes to mobile homes that come with the land. A lot of you all, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida. I mean, just a lot of markets where there are mobile homes that come with the land. So this is called seller carryback, right? This is like a 2-part deal when it comes to, this is like a 2-part deal when it comes to mobile homes, with the land. I think this is something that it sometimes it's more riskier for you, but it may sound good to the seller, especially if you're getting a seller that's giving kind of pushback on, on a deal, right? So similar, this is in the same wheelhouse of seller financing, but owner carryback is when the seller of the property not only sells you the land, but they also finance you the purchase of the mobile home itself. So what I like about this is you're making an arrangement for both. Like, hey, listen, so you got the land, you got the mobile home, let's make a deal. And it just gives you more flexibility. So let's talk about the key aspects of it, right? 2-part sale. The transaction, and there's mostly known as a dual component sale, but the transaction typically involves 2 parts, right? The land and the mobile home. The seller provides really the financing for the mobile home. Promissory note, and again, another collateral agreement, right? Security, basically, right? So the buyer signs a promissory note, agreeing to repay the loan. The manufactured home is used as collateral. Now, is again, in its down payment, okay? The buyer makes a down payment. It's going to reduce the loan amount. This has flexible terms, very flexible in this. Ownership transfer, again, just like seller finance, right? The title can go in the for the manufactured home, and then later on the land can be transferred to the buyer. And the same thing, the owner's going to retain a lien on it, on the property, until it's repaid. And now the buyer a lot of times has more flexibility in renovating this. So let's give you an example. Okay. Keisha is selling the property, and that includes the land and the mobile home. Malcolm is a potential buyer, and he like, yo, listen, I can't go get bank financing, but let's make a deal. So they negotiate, and Keisha and Malcolm come to an agreement. Like, listen, I'll make a purchase $100,000 for the land and the mobile home, and then negotiate the as far as the owner carryback agreement. Now, first they go into a promissory. Well, actually, let me rewind. The down payment. Malcolm give 20 bands down, 20,000. So now he owe 80K. They signed a promissory note to repay Keisha 80,000 over 15 years, and they do an interest rate of 6%. So again, the security agreement, the collateral, the mobile home is used as collateral. He should go get a lien on the mobile home. So in this case, again, if Malcolm stopped paying, Keisha could take back the land and the mobile home. Now, Keisha can go deed the land and the manufactured home title to transfer to Malcolm, right? Becomes the owner. Keisha holds the lien on the manufactured homes. Malcolm make monthly payments. Payments go to principal, go to interest. Malcolm can renovate, right? He decided to do some things. Again, he don't have to go to the bank and go get a construction loan. He don't have to do a 203K loan. He can just, again, this is in his deal. Now let's look at our numbers, right? So let's say Malcolm says, you know what? I'm going to rent the property. I'm going to rent the property out. So he go put on the market for $1,800. So monthly payments, he paying Keisha now, let's say $675 a month. And his rental income, $1,800. So if you do that $1,800 minus the $675, he's netting $1,024 a month. Remember, this is the mobile home in the land. We're not dealing with a park no more. He's netting over $1,100 a month. Let's look at the final breakdown. Total rent collected, $324,000 in 15 years. The property was only $100,000. Total loan he had to pay back. Yeah, he had to pay back $121K. That's okay, right? Because look how much he made. But wait, net income over 15 years, the 324 in gross minus the 121 from the loan payments, $202,000. $446 to be exact. From him doing a seller carryback, another form of seller financing. This time he put $20,000 in, skin in the game, and he was able to create over $202,000. Are y'all following what I'm saying? And here's the thing: everybody's like, well, I don't have 20K. Again, these are just examples. You can be as creative as you want, right? These are just examples of how to be creative in this without maybe not even having to using your own capital. Y'all following me? Let me put yes in the chat if y'all follow me right now. Today been low engagement. It's okay though. It's okay. I know the game on. Y'all like, man, listen, it's cool and all, B, but we'll go come back and watch the replay. All right. So that was seller carryback. Any questions around that? And while y'all doing that, just taking a second to let y'all know, like I said, this is sponsored by the Elite Fast Track program. And man, listen, I can't wait to come back and talk to you all more about that. When I say talk to you more about it, I'm gonna talk a little bit right now, but my Elite Fast Track program is a mentorship, a group coaching program that we help you not only go step by step from mobile home wholesaling, fix and flip deals, teach you our systems, take you inside of our systems. And even at the end of that, we can come to Tampa, meet up, go to a mobile home. Listen, y'all, if you want to interested and you know you need a coach and you know that, like, listen, I need to get off the porch, I need to jump off the porch, I need to get off the sidelines, I need to invest in myself, and I need help because I've been watching all your YouTube videos. I still ain't pulled a move, and I need somebody to hold me accountable. Go ahead, y'all can go ahead and enroll. If you're watching this, go ahead and scan that QR code. So then that way you can go ahead and schedule a call. Let's talk. Let's talk about how we get you enrolled in an Elite Fast Track program. All right. So with that being said, let's get back to it. Subject two. How many of y'all familiar with subject two? All right, put yes in the chat if you're familiar with subject two. Subject two, what I like about this is a little different because normally in seller financing or seller carryback, the seller owns the property, right? The seller owns the property. In subject two, they have an existing mortgage. Now, this one a lot of times is more this is going to be more common for you possibly in negotiations, right? Now, again, it depends on the price of the mobile home, but when it comes to subject to, right, this is mostly used when it comes to single family homes or multi-units. But this is when, again, when a buyer purchases a property subject to an existing financing, like I said, they already got financing, and you can use this with mobile homes because what you would do is the buyer, you assume the seller's mortgage or their loan payments, right? You're taking over ownership of the property. So the reason why this one is actually very cool for a lot of things because you're not actually going and applying for credit. You're not actually going to again, you're a and it's here's the thing, subject to, there are different types, right? Where you can assume the loan, and then there's types where you can actually just now you can just take over the payments, and the mortgage will still be under the seller's name, but in good faith you're going to make the payments so you can still control that property. All right, so here's the steps, right? It involves purchasing a property while leaving the existing mortgage on a loan in place. The buyer takes over the seller's mortgage payments or loan obligations. Purchase agreement. Okay, the buyer and seller enter a purchase agreement that specifies the sale to that is subject to existing financing. The agreement outlines the terms and conditions of the sale, including the purchase price and any contingencies. Right? Again, we always using purchase agreements. Due diligence, you got to perform your due diligence. Make sure that they saying how much they owe is really how much they owe. Right? You want to definitely, you always want to do that. Okay. Transfer a title. Right? Again, in the mobile home situation, they can same thing. You can transfer the title, but now again you are you have new ownership of this because you're taking over responsibility of the loan, and again you can take on the payments. Either you can do it directly from the lender or you can be paid. I would want to get their login so I can make the payments, so I'm not giving nobody money and trusting that they're going to make the payments because things happen. But it's on them if they don't make the payments, because then that means the property can get foreclosed on, but that can be ugly when we get to getting tenants. Okay. So the seller has to make payments, right? If not, they deal with the consequences. A lot of times this comes when people are either in pre-foreclosure, right? You're able to offer those things so that way they can keep the house, or they're behind on some payments so that way you can catch them back up. Okay. And always a down payment, because a lot of times that down payment can put some money in their pocket, or that down payment may actually cover what was owed if they were behind on their mortgage. So let's get more into detail. Okay, I'm giving y'all an example. Mary is selling a home for $60K. All right. She has a mortgage on it. She got a remaining balance of $40,000. Now, John, he's a potential buyer, and he's interested in acquiring a mobile home subject to. So the first thing they do, they go in negotiation. All right. And they agree at the price of $60,000. And they agree that John's going to take over the existing mortgage payments as part of the sale. Now, contracts, they sign a purchase agreement, right? With the subject to transaction. I always talk to y'all attorneys for y'all paperwork. All right, people are like, you got the paperwork? Talk to an attorney. All right. And due diligence, John gonna conduct his due diligence. At the closing, John will get Mary that down payment of $20K. All right. The title is now transferred to John. He becomes a new owner. Now, again, as just existing mortgage, he now assumes the responsibility for making the remaining mortgage payments directly to the lender. Right. And again, the terms of the mortgage, including interest rate and repayment schedule, they all remain the same. So let's give the breakdown. Purchase price, $60K. Existing, $40K. So remember, he put down $20K, right? So purchase price, 60, right? Minus, and where that came from, she wanted 20. The mortgage was 20. The mortgage was 40. He put down the 20. So John purchased the mobile home for $60K. Subject to Mary's existing mortgage of $40K. John pays Mary the $20K, got responsibility. John finds a renter who's willing to pay $1,500 per month to occupy the mobile home. The monthly payment, right? So let's say that the monthly payment she paying for the mortgage Mary was paying for $50K. So rental income, okay, $1,500. Net monthly income, $1,500 minus a $500 mortgage, bringing in $1,000 a month. So let's break this down. Annually, 15 times 12, he just brought in another $18,000 what he's bringing in. Pretty much got his money back his first year with $18K. Right? Now he's making the mortgage payments, $500 for 12 months, right? $6K. So if you look at his net income for the first year, he made 12K. Pretty good, right? So let's say there's 8 years and 2 months left on the mortgage because she only owed $40,000. So total rental income, $1,500, right? Times 97 months, $146,000, $670, right? You're gonna have to pay the mortgage with interest. That'll be $48,000, almost $49,000. Net income, though, let's look at our net, right? So that 146,660 minus the 48,890, $97,000, $97,780 that John was able to make from this subject to. Now remember, he only put down $20,000 and assumed, but guess what? His tenants paid the balance. The tenants paid that. Subject to. Okay. I definitely I like subject to because again, you get to assume a mortgage. You don't have to go apply for something like if somebody already got it, and it's not the full amount of what the house value is, right? Amy said, "What type of attorney handles mobile home transaction documents? Would it be a real estate attorney?" Yes. You know, you can just let them know. I mean, honestly, any real estate attorney, and I'm gonna be real with you, Amy. Nowadays, it's AI. You can look up AI lawyers, and you can get contracts. Let them know exactly what you need, and they'll whip you up a contract. So I'm gonna still shout out all attorneys and lawyers and things, but if they trying to 500, 1,000 for a contract, go look at AI. All right. It says not all mortgages are assumable witness scenario. Yes, that's true. Absolutely right. This scenario will only if the mortgage can be assumable. Right. And again, this is just I'm giving you general information. Right. These are possibilities. This ain't. I'm not saying every single person who has a mortgage, but only if. But again, here's the thing: you can still work out a deal with the seller, right? So again, that seller needs help, especially they're in foreclosure. So if it's not, you can work out a deal with them because everything is online. You can make payments online. So for ownership of the house or for control of the house, what I will do is I'm going to make the payments. But again, you have to leave the premises. I'm going to take everything. You can give them updates. You can make sure they can log in their own account and seeing that the home is paid. But as long as you have an agreement that once this home is paid, you transfer all ownership over to me. All right. Now, the last thing I want to show you for me to I think this is good if you want to do fix and flips because those first 3 strategies, if you want to acquire rentals, I think those are great strategies. And again, hey, Amy, I appreciate it. Definitely much love. No problem. But to me, this is, if you want to get in the game, hard money lenders. It's okay to pay a little bit higher interest, right? If you're going to do a flip, there are hard money lenders that will lend to mobile home. Now, what is a hard money lender? Hard money lenders are normally either investment groups, they're individuals, they're companies that lend capital, and not all, right? Some lend without even needing to pull your credit, right? A lot of times, sometimes it's based on the deal. Now, some still you need, there's a lot of hard money lenders like, hey, listen, you need at least, 620 or 640, whatever that may be. You need a 20% down payment or whatever, 10% down payment, or whatever that may look like. But there are a lot of hard money lenders out there that if you have a project and that project may take only 30 days to complete, and then depending on how fast you can market it, but you may have a term of a 3 month, 6 month, right? If you can get a decent term, now you can leverage a hard money lender's capital to do a fix and flip deal. Now, this is just my honest opinion. I would only encourage you to use a hard money lender if you will be doing a deal not in a mobile home community. I don't really think most hard money lenders will even lend to you if that deal is in a mobile home community. Now, if you find a mobile home that comes with the land and it needs to be renovated, look into a hard money lender, right? This is just another creative strategy for you, right? It's the same thing, just like a single family home, right? The difference is the most likely the asset going to cost me less. The renovation is going to cost me less. Okay. And depending on where it is, I want to find a specialized realtor who specializes and already has buyers lined up for mobile homes. Now, that's one of the things that I always encourage. Again, if you come into my community, I'm always going to teach you those things. But one thing also to be aware of, if you're going to use a hard money lender, the interest rates are higher. You can be looking at 11. It depends, and they take points off. So not only the interest rate can be high, they can come in and be like, "Yo, I want." It's going to be 11%, 13, 15%. But here's the thing: you have to have a strategy. So, for example, if I'm going to use hard money, okay, and I'm going to use hard money, and let's say again it's 15%. The deal has to make sense. All right, the deal got to make sense. Like for me, if I know I got to pay 15% back, then my ROI has to be at least 40, 50% plus for me to even take that deal. So you always got to know your numbers. It's just not like, oh, let me just borrow this money and do this deal. Like, no, the numbers have to make sense. So not only I know I got to pay back this money, but I got to make sure my profit, right? I gotta walk home with a good profit. So I'll give you an example. If there's a deal and let's say I need all in, let's say it's 80K, right? $80,000. And it's going to cost me that 80K is going to cost me another $12,000, right? So all in, I'm looking at 92K for my project. Okay. But here's the thing, if I can sell a house for 170,000, right? That's a $78,000 profit. Even here's the thing, even after I have to pay, if I had to use a realtor, okay, if I'm paying upwards of 4%, 6%, I'm still walking home. I'm still coming, with at least $67,000 profit. So, it has to make sense if you're going to go that route and you're going to use a hard money lender. All right. Definitely has to make sense. So yeah, man, listen, those are basically those four. If we go back over it, we talked about seller finance. And if you come on late, watch the replay. We talked about seller finance and we talked about seller carryback. We talked about subject to, and then we talked about hard money. I think that these are ways that you can get into mobile home investing and you can be creative with it, right? Yes, we talk about wholesaling all the time. We talk about fix and flipping mobile homes. We talk about, leveraging, buy and holds, mobile home parks. You can even use these strategies with mobile home parks, but there's everything that you can do with a single family home, you can do with a mobile home. Now, let's see. Amy had a good question. She said, "Why won't they lend to us if it's a mobile home community in a specific reason?" So I think here's the thing. It could be more risk because it's a possibility that they would. It depends on who the lender is, but you got to think about lot rent, right? So that's a variable. That's a cost that it can be done. But here's the thing for me, right? As the more and more I do this, some of the hardest homes to sell in mobile home parks are mobile homes that are over, it depends on what the region is, right? But I would say over 80,000, and we get to 100,000, and it all depends. But the reason why they're harder because that costs a lot rent. It's just it adds up over time, right? And so the first, not to say you're looking for a specific buyer when it comes to mobile homes. Now if I got an affordable product that's less than 50,000, 25,000, $10,000, that's more realistic because again, where else in America you can find a house for $50,000 that's move-in ready, right? That does not need renovations, right? Unless I'm getting even a boxable or I'm getting a tiny home. Tiny homes nowadays is $70,000, $150,000 and up, right? So, that manufactured home can make a lot of sense. So, yep. So perfect example. So Martha, hey Martha, how you doing? She says, "I'm a mortgage lender and we lend on mobile homes, but we need the land, which makes it real estate." And that's what makes a lot of lenders, right? That is apps. And that's why we talked about that last one, subject to, we talked about seller carryback and subject to, because again, like there's a handful of lenders that lend to mobile homes and mobile home communities. And most of the parks, they know those things. But there are more lenders that will lend to a mobile home with the land because, like, again, it makes it real estate, right? If I had a land, if I have a manufactured home on it, it's tied down. Now this is deeded land, right? Versus chattel. So appreciate that, Martha. So yeah, and I want to open up any questions, y'all. Any questions y'all may have. Like I said, this one I had to run back. This was one of the requested ones that y'all had about creative finance, and so I definitely had to do this one. And while y'all got y'all questions, if you have questions, man, do me a favor. Make sure you following us on Instagram. Would truly, truly, truly appreciate that. Let's see. Let's see. Any questions that y'all may have? Man, I'm sorry to my Facebook group. I'm gonna have to put this replay in there. I thought that it was going to show, but it's all good. But it's all good. It's all good. Y'all listen, y'all. This episode was sponsored by our Elite Fast Track program. Schedule a discovery call. Come talk to me. If you're on Facebook, comment, connect. I definitely got you. If you are on YouTube, you can go ahead and do that, or scan that QR code, schedule a call. Let's see how we can help you out. Go ahead and get you past your goals this year. All right, let's get you. We almost halfway through the year, and you've been watching all these videos, and you ain't did nothing yet. Come on, I got you. I got you covered. All right. So if it ain't no questions, let's see. I'm making them get to my game earlier. If any fellas on here, let me know the score. All right, let's say I am a home loan process. The nice thing about assuming someone's mortgage is a lot of people got interest rates. Yes. Ooh, and we just dropped some gems right there. Listen, that's another benefit if with subject to, because now we know what these interest rates are now, right? So imagine somebody who got a interest rate at 2%, like 3%, and you assume that loan. So now you're not paying all that high interest, right? You're paying low interest. So that is, that right there, that's a game changer. Awesome, y'all. So, man, listen, y'all, this was fun. I truly, truly appreciate y'all, man. This is something that, again, I always like doing these live. I always want to come and give you all some value. I really hope that you not only take notes, but I really hope that you are taking some action. And I think that in this season, I think that this is the time, honestly, that if you've been watching a lot of these lives, if you know YouTube and Facebook and you binge watching, this is a time that you're ready, right? You got the information, you got everything, every tool that you need. Now it's time to jump off the porch, right? It's time to create your action plan and get busy, right? Because it's people out there that's waiting on you, that needs your help, that needs affordable housing, and you got all the tools, you got all the resources to make a change. And if you lead with making a change, and you set a goal that I'm going to make a change, it can put some change in your pocket. All right. So again, I appreciate y'all. Much love to y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in. If you're watching the replay, I appreciate you watching the replay. Until next time, y'all. Love y'all. Let's get it.